Hello my owlets, and welcome back to another video. And I am getting caught up in my creative daily journal, so let's hop into it. We're going to be talking about the cake that my daughter made for the junior livestock show here, and she placed third, and so we did the whole auction, which wasn't an auction. Her cake actually, so how they work the cakes is you have your, if you're not familiar with 4-H, I am not familiar, this is all that I know, so if I get it wrong, I apologize for people that do know the process, but this is what my understanding is. And so you have your grand champion, you have your reserve champion, you have, and then you have your third, and I don't know how far it goes up, if it goes through 5th place. There was a young man there that was helping with the cakes that he had won 5th place, so again, I don't know, but how far they go up. But how they set the tone for the auction is you have your first place, the champion, or is it grand? Yeah, grand champion. And when they're getting auctioned, it goes up to a certain dollar amount. Then you have your reserve champion, which goes up to a certain dollar amount. Then you have so what it does is basically the reserve champion is capped at what the grand champion. So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, which I cannot believe how much this stuff goes for, but I know it helps the youth, you know. But say, for example, and I'm just going to throw a number out there, the cake, say the cake, and this goes for pigs, cows, goats, lambs, etc., rabbits, is say that, for example, the cake went for, the top cake went for like 2,000, right? Yes, you guys, 2,000. So, but it really does help towards their project. And then so it goes towards 2,000. Well, the most that the reserve champion can get is 1,999. So it can't go above that. So it kind of sets, so basically while we're doing all this bidding, you're getting people that are supporting you. So we come from a very, our community is very supportive of the youth and of 4-H and of kids and everything. So during this time, you can get people in your community to sign up for, to sponsor you, right? Or they say, oh, put $25 down for me, or put $50 down. And then they do a fundraiser, so they get money for the fundraiser, yada, yada, yada. You know, it kind of starts adding up. Well, that was what happened in my daughter's case, is that she got supporters. And so when it was her turn to go up to have her cake bid on, she was already capped out by the show fund and by supporters. So her cake didn't actually get, bid on, but the cake did go to the highest person that had bid, you know, said, I'll give you, you know, put me down for $100 or put me down for $25 or whatever. So anyway, so that's kind of what happened on her end. So we made the cake. We were out there for, me and my daughter were out there till her cake went until like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, so about 5 or 6 hours. And then and what she does is she gets there early and she serves the cake. And we always laugh because the cakes, you know, to the left of you have the pigs, all right? And I mean, they're not like right there, but they're pretty much like right there. I guess you could take like 5 steps and you would be at the pig stalls. Then you have the middle where everybody kind of like signs up and everything. And we have this big space, and that's where we serve the cakes at. And then you have to the right of you, you have this fence, and then you have all the cows and stuff. And we're like, so you're battling flies, you know, and everybody's over there like, so we're serving the cake, and then people over there waving, like keeping the flies off the cake. It's quite interesting. So, I mean, they don't do it for a very long time. You're basically got to be there at the beginning to get the cake. But, yeah, so that is that in a nutshell. So, So I'm going to document that in my journal, in my Creative Daily Journal. I have my pictures here. While I was talking, I took a napkin. I love adding napkins. I just love how it makes my book feel too. It feels like, you know, it's just gives it a different texture. And then these are the little, I like to call them French fry buckets, or yeah, little treat bags, treat boxes. Without lids. But I like to, they're great little pockets, you know. So, or you could even cut it down and use it for a skinny pocket. But what I want to do is I wanted to create a space so I could add the recipes in there into the journal. So, so that's kind of what I wanted a bigger pocket to do. And then what's nice about this journal is the way that I had set it up, it worked perfectly with this. I had an extra sheet in here to where I'm going to do all my writing on this side, and then this side can be purely decorative. So that's kind of my thought process on this. And I'm using exciting things in my bag, in my what do you call this? Our little bag that we had for that came in the Easter spring kit. So I'm getting, look, I've been playing around with it, and I'm getting down to using it all, which is a fun thing. I love using my supplies up. So let's see what we got here. I've got this, I found this in my stash. I had bought this, I don't even know. It says Rural Market, and I haven't been to, I go to Rural Market probably usually around Christmas, so I don't know if I bought it this last year or if I bought it the year before, but it was in my roll of stuff, so I really wanted to play around with that. I was just seeing if there's anything that resembled a cake on here. I was going to draw a cake, and then I thought, well, I am going to be limited on some space, so these may be perfect. Let's take these out of them. And I actually have a cake that I've drawn in the past and added it to a kit, and I thought, well, I could do that too, but I think what I'm going to do is add these little tickets on here, and then put some stars across it. So I don't know. Oh my goodness. Let me heat my hot glue gun up yet. I still haven't gotten the replaced the glue guns. You know, I've been out of my glue sticks for a while. Actually, you know what? We're going to use the glue over here. So how have you guys been? It seems like forever. Things should start, well, like I said, April's going to be kind of a little crazy. We've got, what about this? We've got prom coming up this week. Maybe I could just do that. And just kind of write. Do that. But I've got prom coming up, and so I'll be and that's the thing about living kind of out in the middle of nowhere, you know. So we live kind of in between Austin, the big cities. Our big cities are Austin and Houston, and what's come about is, you know, the kids, they don't want to, which I remember I lived in a smaller town. I grew up in a small town outside of Austin, and that's where we actually had our prom, was in Austin. So we physically like drove to Austin because we pretty much had to if you wanted to attend prom. But I ended up, but that's what the kids these days know, but that's what the kids want to do. I guess they're young adults. They want to actually drive to like Houston, and of course, we're like, Houston, oh my goodness. But they want to go eat at I think they're going to go eat at a hibachi, which is, I think it's like, don't they cook the food in front of you? And so a bunch of friends are going, but they're going to go to a botanical garden first and take photos. So of course I've got to go take photos. But anyway, so that's kind of, I'm going to let this kind of lean down a little bit, but that's kind of what's the plan is. And this is the actual recipe. So we'll be doing that this weekend. Let me see if I cut this. I'm going to cut some of this off a little bit. So she made a butter pecan cake, and it actually was really good. Well, we talked about it being dry, but I didn't get to taste it. Her final one, what she did was she ended up not cooking it as long in the oven, and that seemed to really help. That seemed to really kind of help. So I'm just going to pop this in here like that. Put her little picture here. But so when we serve the cake, I guess let me pop back over there. So all the cakes that were submitted to be placed, they were so we turned them in on Monday and they were saved, and then on that Saturday is when she went out and served the cake. And so we were kind of we laughed at her cake because, you know, we already talked about it being dry. And so I'm like, okay, if it sat around for a week, my goodness. But there was all different kind of cakes that the girls, I mean, boys and girls made. There was, so there was a coconut cake like she did last year, which had oatmeal and coconut. The one that won was called Sam Houston cake. I don't know the recipe. And that was the one that won. And then this one, the young man that was there, he made like this, I mean, it was like a gourmet. I mean, the way that he had carrots on it, but I don't know, it was very, very beautiful. And so there was a carrot cake. Brazos actually made a carrot cake one year, the first year that she submitted it, but her icing wasn't as, I don't know, we weren't quite sure. And presentation is a big deal, but they actually liked the cake, so that's a good thing. I'm gonna, this glue did not want to come out. And you know, she got a ribbon and everything, but I've kind of started a scrapbook for her. And I've actually remembered a couple weeks ago that someone had asked about how do you save your kids, you know, like suggestions on how to keep memories for your children. Because I know, I always tell her she's gonna really like to have her memories in some sort of, and it's not decorative like this. Now some of her other stuff is like the younger years when I did a lot of scrapbooking, but she this one I just created a binder, so I might do just a real short video on what I do. And then I also found my old scrapbook from when I was in high school, and because I was going to show her my prom, because I remember I put my prom pictures in there, not prom pictures but prom memorabilia. And this glue is like, it's acting up. Maybe like it's being stubborn and coming out. I just love these stars. There is a little gap in here, which I might pop some hot glue in there. So yeah, so that was, let's get over here and see what else we got. I wonder what this would look like. Definitely, you know, I need some color on my, that looks pretty. So yeah, so I was thinking about actually doing just like a little show and tell, you know, of different ways to document kids, and what her kindergarten teacher did, which was, I thought was just a super idea. But it, for her, I mean, she wasn't married at the time, she didn't have kids. I still know, I mean, she's at another elementary school close by us at a different district, but she would print out like pictures from the classroom, and she made this whole great little binder of at the end of the school year, and she presented it to, you know, the parents, and so you had a whole binder. That's a lot if you think about it, because you gotta think there's like 26 kids and all that ink, you know. But like I said, she was she didn't you know, have children of her own, and she kind of was just, you know, but I mean, still on a teacher salary, and that was so sweet of her to do that, because I love that little book. But it had all their little classmates in there. It was real sweet. Okay, this is probably going to be one of those, oh no, one of those things that it's going to have to dry to get it stuck. Oops, did not want it up there. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is put this little sticker up here. I wonder if it will stick on this napkin. I might just kind of do it like in between, so that way kind of flows over to this part. I love these die cuts. They actually came from Hobby Lobby, but they're so thick, and let's see, where's my numbers? Did we lose the numbers? No. Okay, so this was Saturday, and it was the 24th. So I'm going to put that there, and then I'll kind of like move over to this part. But one of the things I wanted to include, since I wanted to play with all the things that we did get, this was some of the paper that I picked up at the Scrapbook Expo, and it's Asuka Studio. Never heard of it. I needed to Google that. But anyway, isn't it adorable? And I just thought, how fun, because the pigs, we have pictures of pigs. Pigs are my favorite there. And I just thought it would be fun to include one of these little piggies off of here. I'm going to put Happy Day. Because what's so nice about going back to the auction, and you know, such a supportiveness of everybody, is what Brazos does, because I really encourage it, because she doesn't, like I said, she doesn't like do she doesn't have like a animal, you know, that she has to, she literally is buying money for the cake, you know, and stuff. Or I guess Mom is. But what's nice about her doing something is she gets a little bit of money and she puts it away for college. And that's what I've always encouraged her to do, is, you know, to put that away, since, oh my goodness, college is right around the corner. And this paper is so cute. I'm just looking at that little pig, and the whole really I didn't realize it had the little animals on the other side, because when it was in the bin, when I went to Scrapbook Expo, they basically had you like flipping through. And I loved it because of the little journaling spots. Like, I would love to cut these out and just use them, you know, to add my dates on for my book. Oh my goodness, it's coming out now. I'm glad I checked that. I think I'm good on this. Let me see. It is just wanting to act up. I wonder if it was... Like I said, once I get this, sorry you guys, I've got to clean my desk. I just feel like I'm tossing things. I'm not juggling life. I know I've mentioned this before here, but it's like I'm tossing things. So, okay. So I think that's what I'm going to do right there. Let's do that. I'm just going to have to write pigs are my favorite, because if you first glance at this, if I'm telling the story, they're like, oh, does Brazos show pigs? And, you know, I think I told you guys that story before, where when we first moved and joined 4-H, we thought, okay, yeah, we're going to do the pigs. And we went to this class, and they showed us how to train the pigs. And during the class, I looked at Brazos, and I was like, I'm not walking a pig. Okay? That will be your responsibility. It's just like, I don't think I want to show pigs. But I kind of want, I get crazy about seeing animals until then you get them and you're like, wow, this is a big responsibility. But it's like, oh, they're so cute and so just, for one, they're ginormous, but I think pigs are the cutest. So we're just going to put this down. Oops. Possibly. There we go. It was a happy day. We got to spend time out. You know, the weather was perfect. We got to spend time with the community. I think I'm going to cover that up. Even though I like the fact that it says, oh, happy day, but I think I want to have plenty of room to be able to write, for sure. My hot glue gun, I think, is ready to go. Oh, it's twisted around my light here. And I'm just going to pop some underneath here. And I did have someone ask about using hot glue. This is really extra duty hot. Is that a word? Extra hot glue. Where's my napkins? And so it works really good on using it in paper. And I remember the first time I saw someone use hot glue on paper, I was like, is that gonna work? And so far so good. I did have one thing that I'm very disappointed in with some of my books, is I made this it's a recipe book, but I made it into like a, where I wrote about, like, if it's my mom, like, for instance, my mom's favorite recipe or cookies is these brown sugar drop cookies. And so I put a picture of my mom and her birthday. I always make them for my mom's birthday. And my sister's is the pumpkin cookies, which I always make at the holidays, or not holidays, but at the beginning of fall. And so I was just really kind of, when I went, because I use it still to make, I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. I use it still to make recipes from, right? I just put these pictures in there and I write a little story about them. And I noticed the other day, it's coming apart. And I think I mentioned it here, actually, because I've talked about it either to my sister or to you guys. And I was just really disappointed because I need to go back in and glue all those pages. And it was a tape runner, and I don't know the brand that I use because it's been a long time. But yeah, I was like, oh. So I'm just going to add some glue on here, and we're going to call this page good. And I'll come in and do my journaling. And there's my babies over there, my little poke poo. Alright, you guys, well, I'm so glad I got this page documented. And again, once I do my writing in here, I will probably come in and do, add some stickers and some ink and that kind of thing to add more color in here. So that was fun. I'm glad I got that documented. Alright, y'all have a super sparkly rest of the day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.